From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for the debate.
Thanks for joining us on the debate. I'm Niranjan and I have Shravan with me. We're filling in for Arnab Goswami, who will be back on the show tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, at 9 p.m. we wanted to come to you with the biggest political headline of the day. Parliament has resumed. The winter session has begun this morning with the Prime Minister setting the tone even before the Parliament began, asking for focus on delivery and not drama. But like we have seen before every Parliament session in the last few years, ladies and gentlemen, it turned out to be drama inside Parliament. You would have expected the opposition, fresh on the back of the Bihar defeat, to come back, perhaps talk about real issues. Instead, what happened in Parliament is unfortunate, and it's likely to have set the tone for the rest of the winter session. Shravan, it's not looking good as of this evening.
Well, in fact, the session started off on a terrible note. In fact, you've had the opposition parties once again trying to corner the government by saying that why not have a debate on the SIR? Something that the government has very clearly said that they're open to all discussions on these issues, but it seems that without much of a real issue at hand, the opposition once again hasn't been able to start this entire session with a real agenda on the table. First, take a look at this report where you have essentially the Prime Minister setting the tone by simply saying that if at all the opposition parties require, he's ready to give them a tutorial as to how exactly the Parliament should be running. Just 44 minutes. That's all that the Lok Sabha today sat for.
आप सब अपने-अपने स्थान पर विराजे सभी माननीय सदस्य
Please let the proceedings go on. आप मुद्दों पर विषय नहीं रखना चाहते. प्रश्नकाल पर माननीय सदस्यों को बोलने नहीं देते आप. ये तरीका आपका उचित नहीं है.
ड्रामा करने के लिए जगह बहुत होती है. यहाँ ड्रामा नहीं, डिलीवरी होनी चाहिए.
Just hours after Prime Minister's delivery, not drama message, this is how Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha functioned today.
My request is to you allow us to discuss SIR. It is very important issue. Not only people are dying.
While putting forward your demand, you have right to put forward. You cannot reject other conditions. However, I am saying again, the matter related to whatever you call it, special intensive revision or electoral reforms or whatever, I have stated before the beginning of the winter session that government is not averse to taking up discussion for anything.
This change will help avoid unnecessary.
In the Lok Sabha, chaos erupted during Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman's speech, with vote chori chants forcing multiple adjournments till 11 a.m. Tuesday.
This correction is being applied retrospectively from 1st July 2017 to 2nd.
In Rajya Sabha, while welcoming new chairman C.P. Radhakrishnan, Kharge lamented the sudden and unprecedented exit of former VP Jagdeep Thankar without a farewell.
I am constrained to refer to your predecessor's completely unexpected and sudden exit from the office of the chairman Rajya Sabha.
Please,
I was disheartened that the House did not get an opportunity to bid him a farewell.
ठीक है, आपको बिहार की हार ने, हरियाणा की हार ने, महाराष्ट्र की हार ने काफी तकलीफ पहुंचाई है, लेकिन तकलीफ को डॉक्टर के सामने बोलना चाहिए. तो जब डॉक्टर के सामने वक्त आएगा तो आप बोलिएगा, और जब समय आएगा तो बोलिएगा.
Talking about drama, the Congress member of parliament topped the list. Renuka Chaudhary sparked a bizarre row by arriving with a rescued stray puppy in her car, and this is how she defended it.
मैं उठा के उसको गाड़ी में रखी और पार्लियामेंट आई और वापस भिजवा दी. गाड़ी भी गई, कुत्ता भी गई. तो किस बात की चर्चा चल रही है? असली डसने वाले और काटने वाले पार्लियामेंट में बैठे हैं.
The BJP branded Congress MP's move as theatrics.
They don't want delivery in parliament, they want drama. They don't want niti in parliament, they want narebazi. They don't want consensus in parliament, they want confrontation. Renuka Chaudhary has insulted parliament and MPs. She brings a dog to parliament, and when asked about it, she says that those who bite are inside.
New session, same old template by the opposition. Is winter session doomed for another logjam led by the opposition?
If you don't want to be heard, सभा की कार्यवाही कल मंगलवार दिनांक 2 दिसंबर 2025 को प्रातः 11 बजे तक लिए स्थगित की जाती है.
Okay, joining us on the debate this evening, Sanju Varna, national spokesperson BJP, Shubhrashta is a political analyst, Deepak Reddy, national spokesperson of the TDP, Arka Kumar Nag, pro-Trinamool Congress, Nikhil Jain, pro-Congress, Somnath Bharti, founding member AAP, Pooja Mishra, national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party.
Namaskar.
I'll start with Shubhrashta. Shubhrashta, would have expected at least some decorum on day one, but looking at the way it went, it looks like we're headed perhaps for a washout. Fresh on the back of the Bihar defeat, and they have a new excuse this time called the SIR, which they will try and use to disrupt.
2-3 points, Niranjan. Number one, if the opposition is so confident on their whole SIR agenda, why don't we see people on the streets with the opposition demanding the government to take a call? Have you seen that happening in any of the states? Forget about any other state which are not poll-bound. Do you see them happening in poll-bound states? This is where the opposition feels that it can play its dirty politics by getting inside the parliament and actually doing this kind of drama. Now, please make me understand. If the opposition is really serious on environmental issues, again, do you see them thronging the national capital the way they should, the way they did, for example, during the farmers' protest? Did you see them do anything like the CAA protests, for instance? Where is the opposition, credible opposition among all these, amidst all this chaos? The second point which I want to bring to the table is, Niranjan, it really suits the BJP at this moment to not have a discussion on these issues. Therefore, if the Prime Minister is giving a bait to the opposition, it's the opposition's chance to not take that bait and stick to their agenda. If they feel their agenda is really in national interest, why would the opposition want to bite the bullet on the word drama and drag this entire controversy to no end? It's your and my money which goes in running the parliament. These parliamentarians, whosoever they are a shame if they do not allow this session to continue. We do not pay taxes to see all these kind of dramatic events unfold in front of us. As citizens, we want to debate on bills, on policies. We want to hold the government accountable. We also want to hear the opposition become our voice in parliament. I don't see that happening. On what ground, tell me, today we choose not just the government, Niranjan, we also choose the opposition. In this case, what is the opposition really looking out at? Do they want no MPs to go inside the parliament and have a conversation? Do they have no maturity as an opposition, as a united house, to sit and decide on what ball do they have to play a sixer and what ball do they have to just let go as a no ball? The Prime Minister is a master communicator. He is going to do his politics as well as push his own agenda. But where is the opposition's agenda in all of this? I'm sorry to say this looks like a clear, kind of a setting between the government and the opposition, if I may stretch this argument further. None of the parliamentarians want to work. It really suits them to come on national media, make some hullabaloo, Some people will talk about, oh, the opposition is really serious about this, they want to talk about that. Tell me a bill that the opposition wanted to, if the opposition was really serious, ask those MPs, whosoever wanted to raise issues of environment in the parliament, table an alternate bill. Tell us the fine print. Tell us what do you want to do. Please do not tell us this is an issue and we want to raise the issue. Issues have already been raised, Niranjan. People like you and I, millions on Twitter, the ex-governor, all of them are raising issues of environment. My problem is, my humble urge to the opposition and the proposition is, where is the bill where you want to debate environmental concerns in this country? Where is the bill where you're taking care of citizens' voting rights and their democratic rights to protest, etc., etc.?
Yeah, just one point I want to make before I go across. I toss it to Shravan. We have enough time. It's 9:10. We have 50 more minutes for the debate, so everyone will get their time. I request each one of you to kindly be patient during the debate. Thank you, Shravan.
Somnath Bharti, this afternoon, the finance minister introduced 3 bills. While that was essentially happening, what we witnessed was only sloganeering. You have had the opposition members murmuring all this while that the labor codes that have been introduced by the government is perhaps going to be extremely detrimental for the working class, but there was no debate that was followed by the opposition parties. Had there been a debate, probably the labor code could have actually gone in for further consultation. Lack of any consultation or lack of any discussion and a debate essentially results in that the government gets a complete free run to ensure that all these bills are introduced, tabled and moved on.
Is that the question to me?
That was for Somnath Bharti, because see, they all speak about it outside the parliament. But Mr. Bharti, what I was asking is that today you have the finance minister introducing 3 bills. Previously it was the labor code. Outside the parliament, with all the opposition party members that we speak to, they said that, look here, there should have been further consultation on this. Why did you not do it in the first place?
Do we have 2 anchors today? One is Niranjan, one is you?
Yes, that's correct. Shravan and Niranjan. Filling in for Arnab Goswami, back tomorrow.
And I don't know your name, sir.
Shravan and Niranjan, my colleague, yeah.
Yeah, okay, Shravan. Thank you. I thought that you were one of the panelists. That's why I couldn't respond to.
Yeah.
Sir, see, the problem is,
nice,
I am agreeing with, and let me say it clearly, what Honorable Prime Minister says, the delivery, not drama. I agree. We all agree. But democracy's biggest delivery is what? Transparency, accountability, and the right to debate. And the issues which we are looking to discuss in the parliament, on the floor of the house, are 3, and they're very, very essential for a vibrant democracy. The first is SIR, so-called special intensive revision. Till date, nobody knows what was the initial document, the official note which triggered this SIR. What was the need? What were the objectives? Somebody said objective was, the infiltrators, Ghuspatiya so-called. And in whole of Bihar, how many Ghuspatiyas were found? 389. And out of that, possibly 300 was from Nepal. So out of 8.5 crores, you ended up finding 389 Ghuspatiyas. Such an important issue Delhi is suffering from. Pollution. Never seen such an AQI. 700, 800. And what is the response of BJP? Response is hot air balloon ride. Imagine how serious BJP's governance. Law and order issues, terrorism, terrorist attack on the Red Fort. And what is this? Look at the ego at the 7th heaven. We have made you lose elections in Maharashtra, in Bihar, in Haryana. And that's why, So, democracy requires a balanced approach of the speaker, but speaker is biased on what is happening. And very interestingly, let me tell your audience through you.
Mr. Bharti, very conveniently what you're deflecting is a simple question that I asked you.
Then,
Mr. Bharti.
just let me.
Mr. Bharti, just 1 minute. You know, because you very conveniently deflected by simply saying that you did not know me.
Someone just give me 10 more seconds.
Mr. Bharti, it's okay. You don't
10
need
more
to.
seconds.
You see, frankly speaking, Mr. Bharti,
10
it's
more
not that you
seconds
need
and
to
then
know
the
me,
floor
but the
yours.
question is that all that you need to do is answer my question. I asked you a very simple question here. That outside the parliament, when you speak to the opposition members, they keep talking about the fact that, look here, the labour code is not correct. It will only bring in more discontentment. But the reality is that where is the opposition when it comes to speaking about people's issue? You are talking about pollution. Why don't you take this up?
Sure.
Rather than sloganeering, just think about this. What matters to you and I is not something that is being spoken about inside the parliament.
Democracy, the soul of the democracy.
Shavan.
Sir, soul of the democracy is a free and fair election. And for a free and fair election, we need to have an unbiased CEC, election commission. We have to have a, untouched and pure
and to ask
electoral
those
list,
questions.
voters list.
1 minute. And to ask
all these are, where are they? Today, the entire nation is worried about this. I have, in my own constituency, I have been finding fake voters, bogus voters, all added in last 9 months.
Why didn't that 1 minute? And to to ask these questions,
BLOs are coming to decide.
To be fit enough to ask these questions, you need to 1 minute. 1 minute. If by your own logic, by your
what
own logic,
was the need for SIR? We need to ask this
1 minute. By your own logic,
government must allow opposition to have this debate on the floor.
Okay, okay. Because you started, I'm handing it to Sanju Verma, but I'll just tell you, sir, because from my basic understanding, Mr. Somnath Bharti, see, I'm from Bangalore, okay? I was born and brought up in Bangalore. And then I moved to Mumbai. I had a voter ID in Mumbai, right? Then I came to Noida. I had a voter ID in Noida last year. And from Noida, I moved to Greater Noida, okay? So I was registered as a voter there also, because I changed my, address. But technically, my name comes up in 2 or 3 areas, right? So what SIR does is effectively it cleans up the electoral rolls. That is what it is supposed to do. That is what it will do. Okay? And 1 minute, that is what SIR does. If you haven't understood, sir, don't try and confuse people because basic understanding is, I'll tell you what. Basic understanding is because I got a form in my, I'll tell you what. Sir, sun लीजिए, sir. Sun लीजिए.
So was the case with Mr.
Sir, you hear? No, I heard you calmly. I heard you calmly. Why don't you hear, sir? Sir, you are a very senior politician. Hear me. I'm telling you that I received a form in my house, okay? 2 days back. The BLO sent me a form saying that, is this your name? Are you for real? Do you exist here? Okay? Now, if I fill up that form and give it, I am for real. If I don't fill up that form, my name is going to be struck off. That is how it works. It is as simple as that. But I don't want to debate about SIR because this debate is not about SIR. This debate is about parliament. And my question is, there are 15 bills. 15 bills, and Sanju, I'm handing it to you. And you know what? Among those 15 bills, I'll just tell you, I don't know how many of you know the names of the 15 bills here, right? Political parties included. Insurance Bill 2025, Nikhil Jail will start Googling now. Insolvency Bankruptcy Code, Atomic Energy Bill 2025, Securities Markets Code Bill 2025, Corporate Laws Amendment Bill 2025, Higher Education Commission Bill of India, affects 5 crore students every year. Manipur Goods and Services Tax, Highways Amendment Bill, Arbitration Conciliation Bill, Jan Vishwas Amendment Bill. It goes on and on. None of you even want to talk about that. That is my problem. Okay, Sanju, I'll let you speak and then I'll get a response.
Yes. Niranjan, we are 19 minutes into the debate and I hope I will not be interjected. I listened very patiently. The first point I want to make is this. Every minute of running parliament costs 2.5 lakh rupees, which means every hour of running parliament costs 1.5 crore rupees. They say it's not the monsoon session or the winter session, but the most important session of parliament is the budget session, and the budget session of 2025. The Modi government had assigned 134 hours to discuss the budget, but we ended up discussing only for 46 hours. 88 hours went down the tube because the opposition was MIA, missing in action, barring the sloganeering, which means 88 hours
implies 132 crores of taxpayer money gone down the tube. And while I may be a politician, I am a bona fide taxpayer too. Now, the second point I want to make is this. What did JP Nadda say today on the floor of the parliament? He said, हम समझते हैं कि विपक्ष को बहुत तकलीफ हुई है, महाराष्ट्र हार गए, दिल्ली हार गए, बिहार हार गए, but यदि आपको तकलीफ है, डॉक्टर के पास जाइए. Don't derail parliamentary proceedings at the drop of a hat. There is a proper forum. Vent out your grievances on that forum. The third and very important point which I want to make is this. What Om Birla also said. There is a question hour during which all the listed points of discussion are discussed. But there is a 0 hour, usually starting at 12 noon, which follows the question hour. And during 0 hour, there is no pabandi, there is no restriction, there is no limitation. Any member of parliament can spontaneously raise any issue that he or she wants, even if that issue was not listed during question hour. So when Prime Minister Modi said कि delivery होनी चाहिए, drama नहीं, what he meant was, and he said this repeatedly, why doesn't the opposition make use of, why doesn't the opposition utilize the 0 hour to raise questions and hold the government accountable? We are not scared of accountability, but what we will not accept is this brazen attempt to derail parliamentary proceedings. You say that you want a discussion on SIR. Kiran Rijiju has clearly said SIR पर जो भी सवाल हैं, आपके हर सवाल का जवाब मिलेगा आपको. And I want to tell Mr. Somnath Bharti one thing. SIR is a democratic, legitimate, legal and valid exercise. So please don't demonize it. And no less than Justice Sudhanshu Dhulia of the Supreme Court said that vide Article 326 of the Constitution, the Election Commission is within its rights to conduct an SIR. And it said that under Article 324, the only entity which can actually undertake the SIR is the Election Commission. So please don't sit here and say, Gyanesh Kumar ko to kuch pata nahi, Gyanesh Kumar is behaving like BJP's stooge, because I'm sick and tired of listening to it. BJP was out of power in Delhi for 27 long years. Not once did we say that the Election Commission is XYZ stooge. Kejriwal was in power for more than 10 years. तब Election Commission सही था? आज Election Commission को आप गालियां देते हो. And the other point which I want to make is this. People keep telling me, oh, Prime Minister Modi is never seen in Parliament. Please go and check the records. Kiran Rijiju has made these records public. Whenever he's in Delhi,
Sanju, I'm just interrupting here right now because we have to cut out of the debate for a bit because we have.
I request all our panelists to stay with us.
Stay with us. I request all of you to stay with us because we have the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Eknath Shinde, who's joining us on this broadcast. Eknath Shinde जी, बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद रिपब्लिक टीवी से बात करने के लिए. सब लोग ये जानना चाह रहे हैं एकनाथ जी कि आप महायुति में रहकर भी बीजेपी पर सवाल उठा रहे थे. आप कह ले कि ये फ्रेंडली फाइट है. आखिरकार हो क्या रहा है? क्या महायुति में शिवसेना है कि नहीं है? ये 2 दिसंबर तक ही रहेंगे.
ये देखिए, ये महायुति जो हुई है, ये बाला साहब ठाकरे जी, अटल जी, अडवाणी जी के जमाने से है. ये कल परसों की महायुति नहीं हुई है. ये गठबंधन हमारा बहुत पुराना गठबंधन है और कोई सत्ता कुर्सी सिर्फ चुनाव के लिए ये गठबंधन नहीं हुआ है. ये गठबंधन जो है आइडियोलॉजी के ऊपर डिपेंड है. ये गठबंधन हमारे विचारधारा के ऊपर जुड़ा हुआ है और आज हमारे गठबंधन के एनडीए के जो लीडर है आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी इस गठबंधन को आगे ले जा रहे हैं. गठबंधन को मजबूत करने का उनका इरादा है और इसीलिए अभी देखिए, मैं कहता हूँ ये जो चुनाव है, ये चुनाव लोकसभा में हम साथ में लड़े हैं, विधानसभा में साथ में लड़े हैं और लैंडस्लाइड मैंडेट विधानसभा में हमारे एनडीए और महायुति को मिला है.
पर महायुति के अस्तित्व के ऊपर ही सवाल उठ रहा है एकनाथ जी. जब आप अलायंस में जाते हैं कांग्रेस के साथ, यहाँ देख रहा अजीत पवार के साथ शरद पवार के कैंडिडेट्स कैंपेनिंग कर रहे हैं, तो आखिरकार हो क्या रहा है? अस्तित्व तो महायुति के ऊपर, महायुति के अस्तित्व पर सवाल उठाया जाएगा.
ये चुनाव है लोकल बॉडी इलेक्शन का, ये चुनाव है कार्यकर्ताओं का. ये चुनाव में लोकल जो कैलकुलेशन होते हैं उस पर यहाँ पर कई जगह पर शिवसेना और बीजेपी और एनसीपी की अलायंस है, गठबंधन है। जहाँ पर नहीं है वहाँ हम बिल्कुल फ्रेंडली फाइट कर रहे हैं। हम लोग डेवलपमेंट के मुद्दे पर आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं। कोई भी काउंट्रोवर्सी या कोई भी ऐसा आरोप हम हमारे तरफ से हमारे मित्र पक्ष पर नहीं लगा रहे।
एक आरोप है।
सुनिए पहले बात सुनिए। मैंने जब मेरा स्पीच देखिए, मेरे स्पीच में सिर्फ लोकल मुद्दे, लोकल सवाल, लोकल समस्या और लोकल वहाँ का जो कुछ प्रॉब्लम है और डेवलपमेंट, यही मुद्दे को हम आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं। यही मुद्दे को लेकर हम चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं।
एक वीडियो आया था शिंदे जी, आपने देखा होगा, जहाँ पे नीलेश राणे, आपके पार्टी के नीलेश राणे ने रेड किया एक बीजेपी का नेता के घर को, रेड करके वो बेड के ऊपर पैसा भी है, वो बोल रहे कि बीजेपी देखो पैसा बांट रहे करके। तो ये कैसे फ्रेंडली फाइट हो गया शिंदे जी?
देखिए, उस वहां पर मैंने नीलेश राणे जी से बात की और उनको कहा क्या हुआ है, तो उन्होंने कहा कि वहां पर हकीकत में पैसे थे और उनको जब जानकारी उनके चुनाव क्षेत्र में था, उनके चुनाव क्षेत्र, उनकी कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी में था और उनका कहना था कि चुनाव फ्री एंड फेयर होना चाहिए, कोई भी दूसरे तरीके से नहीं होना चाहिए। इसलिए उन्होंने रोकने की कोशिश की है। और इसका मतलब ये नहीं होता है कि हमारी जो बरसों पुरानी गठबंधन है, एनडीए का गठबंधन है, महायुति है, वो तुरंत कोई तोड़ सकता है। ऐसा नहीं होता।
एक नाथ शिंदे जी, फिर आप सुझाव क्या देंगे? क्योंकि देखिए, लोग तो ये कह रहे हैं कि रावण की बात जब आप कर रहे थे, एरोगेंस की बात जब आप कर रहे थे, तो लोग का ये मानना है कि आप बीजेपी पे सवाल उठा रहे हैं। क्योंकि देखिए, आपके पार्टी के लोग ही ये कह रहे हैं कि आखिरकार एक नाथ शिंदे ही मुख्यमंत्री बनने वाले हैं।
देखिए, आपको मैं बताता हूँ, आप क्या है, ये मीडिया जो है ना, अभी हमारा कहना था, मैं तो रावण की बात जब मैं मुख्यमंत्री बना तभी से कर रहा हूँ। हमारे जो अपोजिशन वाले हैं, महाविकास आघाड़ी वाले हैं, यूबीटी वाले हैं, बार बार हमारे ऊपर सवाल उठाते हैं, आरोप करते हैं। उनको हजम ही नहीं होता है कि एक नाथ शिंदे मुख्यमंत्री बन सकता है। तब मैंने कई बार ये रावण वाली बात कही है, तो आपकी मीडिया ने तुरंत उसको कहा कि एक नाथ शिंदे ने बीजेपी को रावण कहा है। अरे, बीजेपी को रावण कहने की आवश्यकता ही नहीं।
क्या ये सच है शिंदे जी, क्या ये सच है कि आप और फडणवीस जी एक ही होटल में थे और मिले नहीं, ऐसा कुछ मीडिया रिपोर्ट्स भी है? क्या इसमें कुछ सच है?
अरे, हम तो दूसरे से बात करते हैं और मैंने हर जब ऐसा मुद्दा काउंटरवर्शियल आया तब मैंने उनसे बात की, उन्होंने मुझसे बात की। तो ये तो मीडिया ही सब पतंग उड़ा रही है, या ऐसा हुआ वैसा हुआ, एक नाथ शिंदे ने बोला किसको, और मीडिया कहती है किसको बोला और किसको कहा। ये तो सब मीडिया में बातें उछालते हैं, लेकिन हमारा गठबंधन बहुत मजबूत है। और मैं आपसे एक चीज, जो एनडीए के हैं, प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी है।
एक नाथ जी, आपसे एक चीज आपसे साथ शेयर करना चाहूंगा। एक तस्वीर हम लोग को कुछ दिन पहले हमारे न्यूज रूम में आया, वो दिखाया जा रहा था एक पोस्टर। उस पोस्टर में आपका तस्वीर, आपके तस्वीर के साथ सोनिया गांधी का तस्वीर। ये देख के हमें पहले तो लगा कि एआई तो नहीं है, ये गलत तो नहीं है। आज आपसे बात करने का मौका मिला, तो इसलिए मैं पूछना चाहूंगा कि आखिरकार वो पोस्टर है क्या? प्रियंका चतुर्वेदी भी सवाल उठा रही है कि आप कांग्रेस के साथ हाथ पकड़ रहे हैं, आप राहुल गांधी के हाथ पकड़ रहे हैं।
वो तो मुझे लगता है कोई तो बेवकूफ बनाने वाला काम किया है, क्योंकि मैं ऐसे कोई सभा में गया ही नहीं जहाँ मेरे पोस्टर में कांग्रेस के पोस्टर हो। ऐसे कोई सभा मैंने अटेंड की नहीं, तो मैं इसके बारे में क्या कह सकता हूँ? क्योंकि ये हमारे जो कांग्रेस और हमारा गठबंधन हो नहीं सकता है। और हमारा गठबंधन जो है देश लेवल पर, केंद्र सरकार के लेवल पर आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के साथ है, महायुति के साथ है। और ये अभी कहाँ का पोस्टर हुआ तो मैं गया ही नहीं, मुझे पता ही नहीं किसने पोस्टर लगाया और किसने
उस्मानाबाद में लगाया है। उस्मानाबाद देखिए, स्क्रीन पर है शिंदे जी, यही है पोस्टर, आपके फोटो के साथ लगा दिया।
ये हमारे, हाँ, मुझे पता ही नहीं ना, ऐसा थोड़ी होता है। कोई कुछ भी करेगा, कल पोस्टर लगा देगा, बोलेगा एकनाथ शिंदे को जिम्मेदार पकड़ो, ऐसा नहीं होता है। एकनाथ शिंदे का साफ कहना है, हमारा गठबंधन जो है हमारा बहुत वर्षों पुराना है, एनडीए अलायंस।
पर आप एक चीज तो मानते होंगे, क्योंकि जो गढ़ है एकनाथ जी, जो आपका गढ़ है, जो हम लोग सब जानते हैं कि थाने के इलाके में जो आपका गढ़ है, उस गढ़ में अगर बीजेपी आपके नेता को लेते, कहीं ना कहीं कुछ तो खटास होगी। क्या आप मानते हैं एक तरह से आप एक एडवाइस बीजेपी को देना चाहेंगे कि देखिए ये हमारा गढ़ है, आप इसमें हाथ मत लगाइए? क्या एक तरह से आप ऐसी एडवाइस दे रहे हैं क्या बीजेपी को?
इसके बारे में मेरी देवेंद्र जी से बात हो चुकी है। देवेंद्र जी ने मुझे कहा है कि हम मेरे लोगों को मैं समझाता हूँ, कोई बात नहीं कि हमारे गठबंधन में खटास पैदा हो। मैंने भी कहा हमारा गठबंधन जो है, ये छोटे मोटे चुनाव को छोड़ दो, लेकिन हमारा गठबंधन एक विचारधारा पे से जुड़ा है, और ये गठबंधन में कोई भी आंच ना आए ऐसी कोशिश कोई करे तो हम वो नाकाम करनी चाहिए। और हमारे कार्यकर्ता को मैंने भी कहा कि शिवसेना के कार्यकर्ता को, पदाधिकारियों को मैं कहूंगा, और उन्होंने कहा भाजपा के, बीजेपी के लोगों को वो कहेंगे। तो उस बात के ऊपर चर्चा हुई और उस बात के ऊपर डिस्कशन भी हुआ, निर्णय भी हुआ है।
और रविंद्र चौहान को लेकर काफी सवाल उठाया गया कि रविंद्र चौहान जिस तरह से बयानबाजी कर रहे थे, उससे आपके जितने नेता हैं, आपके जितने पार्टी के नेता हैं, उनको भी पसंद नहीं आया एकनाथ जी। तो आप उनको क्या कहेंगे? क्योंकि रविंद्र चौहान वही इंसान है जो पूरे समय जब आप सूरत गए थे, गुवाहाटी गए थे, रविंद्र चौहान आपके साथ था।
देखिए, रविंद्र चौहान की बात है तो उनको कहने की जिम्मेदारी मुख्यमंत्री जी की है, वो उनको कहेंगे। उन्होंने मुझे साफ तौर पे कहा था कि मैं रविंद्र चौहान से बात करता हूं और उनको जो कहना है कहता हूं। हमारा देखिए, हमारा पूरा भरोसा जो है हमारा आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी मोदी जी के ऊपर गठबंधन के बारे में, गृह मंत्री अमित भाई हमेशा इसमें ध्यान देते हैं, और मुख्यमंत्री जी से मेरी बातचीत होती है। तो ये बात बीजेपी वाली मसला जो है वो महाराष्ट्र के लेवल पे देवेंद्र जी उनके लोगों को समझाएंगे, या मैं हमारे लोगों को समझाऊंगा।
आखिरी क्वेश्चन है, थोड़ा सिग्नल कमजोर है वहां पे। कांग्रेस अकेले लड़ रही है, इसमें इम्पैक्ट क्या हो सकता है इस चुनाव में? शिंदे जी,
वो कांग्रेस अकेले लड़े और साथ में लड़े, गठबंधन में लड़े, हमें कोई उसका हमें कोई फर्क पड़ता नहीं, क्योंकि हमने मुंबई में जब हमारी सरकार बनाई 2022 में, तो बरसों से जो काम नहीं हुए थे, रोड के कंक्रीटाइजेशन का, सीवरेज ट्रीटमेंट प्लान का, मेट्रो का, काफी काम जो है, कारशेड का, ये काफी काम बंद पड़ चुके थे, बुलेट ट्रेन का, ये सब हमने शुरू करवा दिए। हेल्थ सेक्टर में जो सुविधा नहीं थी वो देने का काम किया है। तो मुंबई को पूरी तरह यह बदलाव लाने का काम डेवलपमेंट के माध्यम से हमने किया है। इसलिए कोई भी साथ में लड़े, हमें कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, वहां पर महायुति का महापौर बनेगा।
एकनाथ जी, एक आखिरी सवाल। मानिकराव कोकाते ये कहते हैं कि बीजेपी हॉर्स ट्रेडिंग करती है। आखिरकार अजीत पवार आपके ही अलायंस पार्टनर है, बीजेपी पर आरोप लगा रहे एक उन्हीं के नेता मानिकराव कोकाटे, वो कहते हैं कि हॉर्स ट्रेडिंग हो रही है और हॉर्स ट्रेडिंग में बीजेपी शामिल है।
देखिए, मैं उसमें कोई बात नहीं करना चाहता हूं, और मैं इतना ही कहूंगा कि हमारा गठबंधन है, हम महायुति है, हम युति धर्म निभाने वाले हैं, और सभी लोगों ने युति धर्म निभाना चाहिए, ताकि सेंट्रल में, केंद्र सरकार में अभी देखिए आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी गठबंधन को मजबूत कर रहे हैं। जैसे बिहार का आपने चुनाव देखा है, तो हम गठबंधन को मजबूत करेंगे, और देश के प्रधानमंत्री देश को आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं, देश का विकास कर रहे हैं, उनका साथ देना, उनका हाथ मजबूत करना, ये हमारा काम है बस।
ओके शिंदे जी, थैंक यू फॉर स्पीकिंग टू अस। बहुत शुक्रिया, थैंक यू वेरी मच, ऑल द बेस्ट, ऑल द बेस्ट। देखते क्या होता है, सेकंड कल है, we'll see what happens next. Let's go back to our debate now. Okay, Shravan, we were on the point of Sanju was speaking and then we interrupted her, And then Sanju, can we take another opinion and come back to you?
No, Sanju can perhaps also answer what is happening in Maharashtra because, you know, Sanju, it's the most difficult thing to decipher right now. Who's really supporting whom?
God alone knows
Shinde has basically dismissed all of it, but the reality is this, that almost everyone is campaigning for each other. So what are you really going to the people of Maharashtra by telling them, whom are you really criticizing?
Confused.
You know, Shravan and Niranjan, I usually don't try to duck tough questions, but I'll try and play it safe today. I will just say this much. Out of 288 seats, the BJP-led alliance has 230. That's more than 79% of the seats, with BJP alone having 132 seats in the Maharashtra Assembly. Eknath Shinde's Sena at 57 and Ajit Pawar's group at 41. And the combined opposition of Uddhav Thackeray, Congress and Sharad Pawar are reduced to 41 seats.
Yeah.
Jo jeeta wahi Sikandar. And I think, maybe this sounds crude, but I think victory can be a big elixir. And I think, it's a big aphrodisiac, for want of a better word.
Okay.
So I think, despite skirmishes, the alliance will stay. And imagine BJP winning Maharashtra with a 91% strike rate is unheard of. So I will just end by saying this, that yes, BMC elections are very important. There could be friendly fights, but the BJP is very, very certain that every seat is worth fighting for.
Okay, I'm going to get into other panelists now. We have several panelists who haven't spoken. Let me go to Nikhil Jain. Okay, Somnath Bharti spoken. Nikhil Jain, what was the need for Renuka Chaudhary to get her dog to the parliament and then make that comment saying those inside parliament bite? She referred to parliamentarians as dogs who bite inside parliament. I mean, that is exactly what the Prime Minister said is drama. It's shameful. You want to adopt a dog, it's great, fantastic, do it, but leave the dog at home. Why did you bring the dog to parliament? And what was she trying to do?
Niranjan, can I now please answer?
Yeah, you can.
Thank you so much. So first of all, I don't really understand when the nation is talking about SIR, the suicides of BLOs, Delhi being a gas chamber. Why does the BJP feel the need to talk about a dog which was in the private car
BJP didn't talk about the dog, your parliamentarian brought the dog.
Shehzad did, and it was only after that.
She brought the dog, no?
Media asked her questions, that is why she responded. She didn't go to the media and say, look, I have brought a dog, all right? She was asked the question,
obviously,
she answered on it.
You'll be asked a question. No, you're a parliamentarian, it's not a park, no, to take a dog for a walk.
Niranjan, will you let me speak or will you just interject? The dog concerned was in the private car of the MP concerned. The dog never even stepped onto the complex of the parliament, let alone the floor of the parliament. But I'll show your viewers this picture of BJP MP Poonam Mahajan very nicely and adorably playing with the dog in the parliament complex. But I really don't think those are issues that we need to talk about. The important issues are the ones that have been raised by Subhrashtra. She says that, the opposition keeps doing this ho halla, but they're not going to the streets when it comes to the SIR. I'm sorry, Subhrashtra, you're wrong. This is, I'm sorry for my printer quality, the DMK and other allies staging a protest on the SIR on the streets. This is the BLOs in West Bengal staging a protest on the streets. We obviously know that the opposition has been making a lot of remarks about the SIR, giving proofs, conducting press conferences, and it's not just the drama in the parliament which, Prime Minister Modi thinks that the opposition always does. Now, Subhrashtra, you raised another important point that why do you just keep on pointing flaws? Why don't you give solutions? Actually, they have been given solutions. On the pollution problem, Arvind Kejriwal from the Aam Aadmi Party says reduce GST on air purifiers because they are essentially an essential now. The Congress party says that you need to strengthen the public transport infrastructure in order to reduce the pollution levels. Rahul Gandhi seeks a debate on the worsening air pollution crisis as a health emergency in the national capital. Now you say that the ECI has so many duplicate votes. Who are we talking about duplicate voters? This is actually a reporters' collective investigation that points out that there may have been about 1 crore duplicate voters in the final SIR rules. If you want, I can send you an Excel file that I have of a single constituency. Patna Sahib 184, that has 15,000 duplicate votes. And this is the problem, Subhrashtra. Our politicians, our opposition politicians are trying to talk sense. They're trying to hold the government accountable. But the Prime Minister set the tone for the entire session when in his inaugural speech he says, or address to the media, he says that drama versus delivery. The parliament does not exist only for the government to pass laws. Very well, that is a part of it. But the more important part in a Westminster democracy is to hold the government accountable, which this government really does not want. And lastly, a point was made that when did the BJP raise jibes on the election commission? This is Prime Minister Modi himself accusing the election commission of, I think, carrying out rigged elections. This was in January 2014. And another printout, I'm sorry, I don't have. It is a book called Democracy at Risk. Can we trust our electronic voting machines? This is written by a gentleman called GVL Narasimha Rao. It is available for sale on Amazon for $19 in the US right now on foreign land.
One minute. Hold on. I told you everyone will get time, and many of them haven't even spoken. Just calm down. This is okay. Listen, people, if they want to Google, 1 minute, 1 second. If people want, Deepak Reddy hasn't spoken. Now, let me get Deepak Reddy to respond. Shubhrashta, with your permission, I'll get Deepak Reddy to respond only because he hasn't spoken. Deepak Reddy, you heard him. So many issues, so many issues to discuss. Didn't hear one inside Parliament, except SIR. Deepak.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. Before I get to that, let me tell you, Renuka Chaudhary ji started her political career in Telugu Desam Party, and we understand her better than others. Getting that stray dog today to the Parliament is nothing but her way of expressing the plight of the Congress party after the recent defeat. The people have rejected, and now the party is running around like a stray dog. That's what the meaning I got out of it. But as far as Telugu Desam Party is concerned, we really want the Parliament to function and work for the people of India, and we are really hoping that the opposition gets some sense and understands the responsibility. There are 4 Ds what the people of India are looking for. One is they want the parliamentarians to deliver, to debate, to discuss, and to have deliberations. But what is that they're doing? Drama, disruption of the Parliament, disrespecting our processes, and demeaning the people. This is what we are getting, which is totally not fair. Now, coming to what exactly happened today, let's jump into the well. The minute the condolence motion was over, I think they didn't even spare a single second. They were up shouting. So they deliberately planned to disrupt the Parliament. This is what we can pretty much understand. And what it reminds me is our younger days in school, where some student who doesn't understand what's going on in the class ends up disturbing the whole class. I mean, this kind of resembles that. And I would like to point one more thing. After 2024 election results were announced, Rahul Gandhi came on air and he said he was not unhappy that he lost, but he was very happy, and he actually said that now we have the numbers to disrupt the Parliament. So their intention is only to disrupt the Parliament and not to work for the people of India. And I don't want to get into SIR because that kind of a content is not there in the members of the opposition party. It is just an excuse. If not this, they will find some other excuse. The blatant truth is we have a dysfunctional opposition where no one trusts each other, where everyone wants to be the prime minister, we're all born together with only one objective: to save themselves from dying out politically or with political greed. This is the naked truth. But the people of India are watching, because this is not once, it has been happening repeatedly. And I think it's time we discuss a recall act. Somebody like this, if they're not serious about the people of India, we should have the right to recall such kind of a people. It's time we have that debate also. These are my opening comments.
Pooja, you've heard what Sanju as well as Deepak Reddy have to say. Almost everyone is saying that why should the opposition essentially indulge in absolute just sloganeering and not really talking about the real issues which really matter. If at all it is for the SIR also, this is for this session. Let that happen. The government is saying that we are willing to have the discussion.
Yes, and have you seen the parliament session for this year? The first statement, what the speaker says, it says, no adjournment motion of opposition is accepted. विपक्ष का एक भी सदन प्रस्ताव मंजूर नहीं किया गया है. So what do you think oppositions are for? Are we spectators? We are also elected by the people of India. We are representing the people of India. And for our Prime Minister, asking for accountability of the BLOs who are committing suicide in Uttar Pradesh, in West Bengal, and in Haryana, in Rajasthan, is drama. I would say it's a democracy's off-season. When opposition questions the government, it's a democracy is leaving. You can't call them it's noise or something like that. And let me correct Sanju Verma. He said that in 0 hour, you can ask any question. Yes, you can. But at the end of the day, it is controlled by the speaker. And speaker allowed, we raised the question on SIR.
Did you try raising any question during 0 hour? I want to ask you. Did you try raising any valid question during 0 hour? Did you discuss more story during SIR? Did you discuss SIR during 0 hour? Have you ever discussed inflation during SIR?
Sanju.
Have you ever discussed any important issue during 0 hour? The answer is no. The point is you guys are like headless chickens.
We are talking about the rights of BLOs who
you want to digress, deflect and deviate. Parliament proceedings.
Sanju, and I promised everybody at the start of the debate that we will get to hear each other clearly. Please, I request you. This is unfortunately, this is not the parliament. One minute. What happens is people. 1 minute. Sanju, please. Sanju, please, 1 minute. You can respond to her. Put your hand up. I'll come to you. Sanju, just put your hand up. I'll come to you, please. And 1 minute. I want Pooja to complete her point because I still have one panelist who still hasn't spoken. Pooja, complete your point.
We are talking about the capital city of our country. Our capital city has become the gas chamber, and you don't want to talk about the pollution. You said that.
Why don't you talk about stubble burning in Punjab?
She said that
Punjab में जो पराली जलाई जा रही है, that is the basic reason for Delhi pollution.
No, it's not. 1 minute. Sanju, fact check. Sanju, fact check. 1 minute. 1 minute.
This is how the
COVID fact check. 1 minute. 1 minute. Just a second.
In 2006, when you guys were
Punjab में जो पराली
1 minute. Sanju, 1 minute. Sanju, I'm assuming 1 minute. Somnath Bharti, I request you, please don't jump the gun. One person, one speaker hasn't spoken. Please have consideration for him. I want to fact check Sanju, and I will come back to her later because Arka hasn't spoken, right? I want to fact check her because today, Supreme Court has said, and I hope she has seen it or she takes the Supreme Court seriously, but Supreme Court has said, and I quote, farmers alone are not to blame for Delhi NCR pollution. Supreme Court has said today, that stubble burning continued even during COVID, and yet the skies remained clear. So stop burning farmers, stop blaming farmers alone is what the Supreme Court has said, not me. I have not said it. Supreme Court has said it. It's everywhere.
Burning is also one of
1
the
minute.
reasons.
So I want to get in Arka. I want to get in Arka because before we go to stubble burning, AQI, I feel it. We are in Delhi NCR. And we feel it. We It should be debated. I agree. It should be debated. Arka. I'm going to Arka. 1 minute. Arka, see. 1 minute. Arka, please have consideration for him. He hasn't spoken. Arka, if it is an issue, it should be raised in Parliament, right? Air pollution should be raised. Why is the opposition not raising it?
Well, I'm sure the air pollution is something which is also to be considered, and that too in the National Capital Territory, and I'm sure the opposition will find its way to discuss that also, and I'm sure the government will find its reasons not to discuss it as well. But let us be reminded of one fact very clearly, that the House belongs to the opposition. The government's responsibility is to create a scenario so that the opposition can vent out and can speak out what they feel and what they are feeling in the ground levels in the House itself. That was one of the reasons the Lok Sabha TV and the Rajya Sabha TVs also came up, because it was the plan and the idea of the democratic prime ministers before Mr. Modi to be planned and be architect of the voices of the parliament to reach to the every corners of the country. That is one. Second, I have been hearing a lot of discussion about that parliament चलाने के लिए बहुत पैसा खर्चा होता है और ये public money है. So let me be reminding the entire viewers that only in West Bengal for the salary, rather for the honorarium of the BLO, the government has to make an expenditure of 144 crores. Let's not discuss about the other states again. If we make a total accumulation, it will be in thousands. So SIR is also an extremely important financial aspect which the government is answerable to in the seat of the democracy, that is the parliament, and they cannot run away from it. And so far as the people dying for the SIR is concerned, I must make it a point that when people and the officers of the election commission, the BLOs, who are the representatives of the commission, are not being in a position to either face the wrath of the work pressure or otherwise is taking away their lives, and there are deaths at a lot of places in West Bengal, it is something it has to be discussed. And if the government is very sure that they are not running away from accountability, let them make a discussion, let them make a declaration that they will discuss this on such and such day. If they give a particular date, that on that particular date it will be discussed. It is not about law and order, Madam Sanju, you are not aware of the facts. When people commit suicide, law and order does not work. Somebody has given you a wrong impression that law and order suicides fall within law and order, and I know you are not well briefed, but it is okay. But it is not about law and order, you are not aware of it. Please take briefings properly, you are not aware of it. Do not act like, that you have the mic so you will speak anything you want.
Can you tell me why? She can give 25,000 rupees per month to a Maulana,
that is
to an imam in a
Commission's
madrasa.
recommendation, madam. Your cell has given you an information.
Let's
tell our viewers. Has recommended that expenditure.
Okay, I hope at least now all of you will come together, because I have a big breaking news update, and I hope everybody speaking right now will hear me clearly, because this was, I hope at least this brings you together. We have accessed right now breaking news of a Brahmos combat launch that has happened. The Indian Army's Brahmos roaring across the Bay of Bengal in combat launch, showcasing unmatched precision. A breaking video that's coming in. I'd like all of you, despite your differences, watch this video. It should make you feel proud. I'm ending the show with that breaking video right now. The Indian Army's Brahmos roaring across the Bay of Bengal in a combat launch, showcasing unmatched precision, speed, destructive prowess. The missile hit its designated target with pinpoint accuracy, reaffirming India's ability to deliver decisive long-range precision strike. Indian Army statement, successful launch by Southern Command, is a powerful testament to India's growing Atmanirbharta. Let's play that out. Big Brahmos launch, ladies and gentlemen.
Three, two, one.
Okay, so that's it on this edition of The Debate. Ladies and gentlemen, Arnab will be back tomorrow.